Hey, how's it going? This is Allie. This is my vlog on teaching literature with or without technology. When it comes to teaching literature and integrating technology into lesson plans, which methods come to mind that are the most effective in teaching reading to a classroom full of students? To answer the question, it is helpful to first take a look at what is considered invaluable to literature and which points are necessary in teaching higher order reading skills. In my own experience as a beginning freshman in college, my first English courses made me aware of the skill set and literacy I had developed through my time in middle school and high school. And it also taught me how to use it to promote critical thinking in a text. The foundation of critical analysis was laid out for me in public school. However, the scaffolding was sparse and often led to my teacher's final analysis of the assigned reading. There wasn't really a lot of student contribution. There wasn't a lot of independent thinking. It was just more of the teacher guiding us to the final answer, and then it was the teacher's analysis at the end. In college, it was my English professors who really helped me to develop a sense of what author's purpose is. Though I went over it in high school, college really helped me break it down and really just helped me understand the weight of author's meaning as the overall message behind the text, whether it be a novel or a persuasive article. My English professors also showed me how to model how to use a literacy skill set in textual analysis. So what exactly is important to the development of essential literacy skills, and how can we teach them with technology? In my experience, cultivating literacy skills is to acknowledge the tangible pieces that construct a text before analyzing abstract ideas and opinions that make up the text's purpose. So really identifying literacy terms and devices that help us dissect the meaning of a text or help us think critically about what we're reading or what the author's purpose is or intent. And technology can be used to further our comprehension on the tools that we do use in literature. So I highlighted 5 main points or 5 literary devices that I thought were important when it came to teaching reading and teaching critical analysis of reading. I thought that this would be salient to pass on to or impart onto a future classroom of my own and for readers who are first beginning to grasp at these ideas. So number 1 for me was genre. Genre is important in understanding the theme of a text. If we are able to determine the genre of a text, then we are more likely to determine the author's purpose. In creating the literature piece, is the work an argumentative piece or informative? Is the work fiction or nonfiction, a mystery or romance? To understand the genre will better inform the audience of what to expect from the reading. Number 2 for me was conflict. Identifying the conflict within a text helps the reader to understand the issue contributing to the work. What is the main problem in the story? What exactly are the characters struggling with? Discovering the conflict and dissecting it is important for the reader to understand the issue's weight or impact on the story. Number 3, language. Language is an important key into author's purpose. Typically, each word is used with intention behind its definition. What choice of words is the author using? Are characters speaking in different dialects or tongues? How does it convey a certain message to the reader? 4, vocabulary. What helps us to better our own language skills is to identify new words that we come across while we're reading. If an unfamiliar word presents itself, then we will try sounding it out, looking for textual clues next to the word that might unveil its meaning, and finding the true definition of the word, or looking up the word in a dictionary. Or nowadays, there's dictionary apps that students can use on their phones that will help make definitions accessible to them at a faster pace than a dictionary. Using these abilities we become expert language users and communicators. Number 5 for me was reading for content or finding the author's purpose. If not a combination of these literary skills and devices, then this reason being the most important in reading, to find the author's purpose. We look for context clues to dissect the underlying meaning of a text, thus to better understand the author's reason for creating the piece of literature. What are the lessons learned from the text? Why do readers love, cherish, and embrace a particular form of literature? What is its impact on people? What's its cultural value? So when it comes to integrating technology into better understanding terms like this to develop reading skills, I think in I Write by Dana Wilber, in chapter 3, she discusses blogging. And blogging really resonated with me in the way that she talked about it and discussed it. She presented it as almost kind of like a timeline for teachers to use to understand the progression or to find the progression of student writing over the course of an academic year. I thought that was important in trying to improve on certain pieces of writing. Each student is going to be different. They're going to be challenged in different areas, or they're going to excel in different areas. But I also thought blogging was important because it creates an environment for students to just write without the pressures of rules or rubrics that kind of put a demand on their writing. And blogging can just be as simple as a 5 to 10 minute exercise where students just write how they feel or their opinion, or just explain in their most candid form what they think about the writing. But in particular, when it comes to enhancing our literacy skills, I think one method could be to define these literary terms and devices that we've discussed. By defining it, I think students become more informed. They have to look up the definition. They have to define in their own words. In that process, I think it really resonates with students, and I think it would also help them to better understand these terms as they approach literature and will be more likely to use them. I think when it comes to literary devices, we are so familiar with it. You know, it's not really an ordeal, or I feel like at least in my time in high school, a lot of it was glossed over, and I think it was really something we could have spent more time explaining or discussing the purpose. And I really think this is what enhances our literacy skills, is to use the tools that we have at hand to better dissect a text or an assigned reading to find the author's purpose, or at least the closest idea we can get to the author's purpose. To wrap things up here, I would say it goes without saying that developing strong reading skills is essential to creating stronger minds. As we move forward, the nature of reading is changing. Technology is now an integral part of our education as well as our students. Using it as a tool to develop literacy skills is practical in the digital era. As students and as educators, it is salient that we are familiar with the platforms we can use to promote reading as it translates from books to computer screens. It is important to keep in mind what we value from using technology and how we can use it